Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off lying down. Bring your hands by your side. Let your legs be long and heavy in front of you. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And start to bring focus and awareness to the movement of your breath. With every inhale, allow your belly and your ribs to expand. With every exhale, feel yourself sinking a little bit heavier into your mat. You can open your eyes, goalpost your arms out to the side, extend your fingertips up to the ceiling so your elbows and your shoulders are in the same line. And then rotate your shoulders so you're trying to bring the backs of your hands down to the ground. And then rotate again so you're trying to bring the palms of your hands down to the mat. And we're going to move through this about 8 times. Taking it nice and slow, nice and controlled, very intentional movement. And what I want you to notice as you're going through this is your range of motion. So maybe you have more range of motion with the backs of your hands getting closer down to the ground. Or maybe you have more range of motion with the palms of your hands getting down to the mat. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground, pressing into the ground. And then just notice this motion and this movement. Try to make it as smooth as possible. And as you're doing this, make sure that your rib cage stays knitted together so you're not splaying open through your ribs, but you're finding a good amount of core activation to support this movement. And take a few more here. Make sure that your elbows and shoulders are still in the same line. Maybe you're finding that you're able to get a little bit further with every set. And we'll take one last one here, move through it. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. And then extend your arms way up overhead. Pull your fingertips away from your toes. Now reach your arms out to the side and slowly bring your hands down by your thighs. And then do that again. Reach your arms out to the side, flip your palms up towards the ceiling, and try to bring your thumbs together over your head. Try to keep the backs of your hands on the ground. And try to keep your shoulders pulled away from your ears. And this is just a nice way, again, to find range of motion in the shoulder, to find a bit of opening into your chest. You may find that your shoulders are reaching up slightly to your ears. That's okay. Try to keep your arms as straight as you can and try to keep the backs of your hands on the ground as best you can. All the while, maintain a stretch and reach through your fingertips like you're making a big snow angel with your upper body. And we'll take a few more of these. Notice when things get tight as you're moving through this. Notice where you may feel a bit of an extra pull through the front of your shoulder or into your chest. Continue to expand and reach through your fingertips. And then on this last one, bring your arms straight up to the ceiling. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your right elbow over your left elbow. Grab for your shoulders with your hands and try to pull your shoulders away from your ears. You can bend your knees here and take a little rock from side to side with your upper and lower torso. And then release and switch to the other side. Open your arms. This time bring your left elbow on top of your right elbow. Give yourself this big hug. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And find a nice, easy rock from side to side. Bend your knees into your chest and rock and roll yourself upright and come into a tabletop all fours position. We're going to isolate a bit through the shoulders here. So instead of moving through your spine, pull your shoulder blades together. Feel your chest move down. And then push into the mat and pull your shoulder blades apart. So we're finding a bit of retraction into the shoulders as though you're pushing into a wall, but of course you're pushing into the ground. Support your neck, stay nice and long through the crown of your head. Support your lower back with your core. And then start to circle through your shoulders. So this may involve a little more of the upper and cervical spine, that's okay. Take these circles going up and back through the shoulders. And then we go the other direction. Shoulders will go back, up, and around. Shoulder blades will come together and separate as you move through these circular motions. And then come back to neutral and move all the way down onto your belly. Bring your hands so they come outside of your mat, tent onto your fingertips, point your elbows up to the ceiling. Push down through your fingertips to lift your heart in your chest. And then exhale, lower and twist your right shoulder down to the mat. And then switch. Bring yourself upright. And then rotate and bring your left shoulder down. And continue to alternate and undulate from side to side. And try to involve the head and the neck as much as you can. Feel this kind of rolling undulation up and down your spine and allow a little bit of openness into alternating shoulders and chest. And make sure that your breath is infused into the movement. It doesn't have to match exactly. And take your time, go at your own pace. Find a few more of these. And we'll take one last set here, once to the right, once to the left. And then after your last one, bring yourself back up through center and just take a moment in a big open cobra position. Push down into the pads of your fingers, lift up, maybe look up. And then lower your belly all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands so they come underneath your shoulders. Push your hips back to a child's pose and take a moment for breath here. This is a nice way to release through the shoulders, to find a bit of length through the spine. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Feel your hips sink a little heavier onto your heels. Allow your fingertips to crawl a little further forward. Find some traction through your spine. And then slowly roll yourself up. Make your way to a forward fold. So bring your feet so they're about hips-width distance apart. Softly bend through your knees, drop your head, and take a moment here. You can shift your torso from side to side. Find an easy, gentle sway. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Allow some release through the neck. And notice what's going on with the shoulders too, how you're holding on to tension in your shoulders. Soften your knees and slowly roll yourself up to stand. Let your arms dangle and let your shoulders, chin, and gaze be last to arrive. And once you come to the top, take a few shoulder rolls going forward, up and back. You can allow a bend of the elbows, a bend of the knees as you move through this. And take these rolls in the opposite direction. Find a nice contraction through the upper spine. And now bring your hands so they come onto your shoulders. Find these rolls again. Think of making big circles with your elbows, going up, back, and around. You can find a little bit of a bounce through the knees, and then take these circles in the opposite direction so your elbows go back, up, and around. And now a whole arm circle. Release your arms, take your hands up, back, and around. Open through the chest. We'll take about 3 big circles in one direction and then 3 huge circles in the other direction. Allowing some movement in the spine, definitely getting some range of motion into the shoulders. And then just release. Find a moment for free motion. Open your arms wide to the side. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your right elbow underneath your left. Start to curl your chin down to your chest. And take a very easy side-to-side movement here. Just a very slow shimmy of your upper, middle, back, and shoulders. And then slowly roll up. Stack the spine. Open your arms. Take a moment with an open chest. And then wrap your other arm underneath. Left elbow comes under. Use your hands to pull your shoulders down and then round your chin towards your chest. Use your hands to actively pull your shoulder blades away from each other, and then also the weight of your head will help with that as well. Take some easy movement in the jaw here. Release tension. Slowly roll your body up. Release your arms out to the side and up overhead. And now keep your right arm lifted and sneak your left arm behind your lower back. And now release your body over. Start to find a big, loose, heavy stirring motion through your right arm, almost like you're trying to release the arm from the rest of your body. Try to get your shoulder to release as much as possible. Then stay in this bent over position. Bring your right hand behind your lower back and find this same kind of sloppy stirring motion with your left arm, almost like the wrist were weighted and you're finding some looseness into your shoulder joint. Use the weight of your arm. And then roll yourself back up to stand. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Punch your fist back. Find a little bit of a lift through the chest. Soften through your knees and release your head and your body down, forward fold. Finding a bit deeper shoulder opener here. You can move your shoulders very gently from side to side. Take a shake of your head. Release tension in your neck and your jaw. And just breathe here. Slowly release the bind of your hands. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step your feet back, coming into a thread the needle pose. So thread your left arm so it comes underneath your right shoulder, your right armpit. Bring your left ear down to the mat. Extend your right fingertips forward to the top of your mat. And then maybe attempt to crawl your right fingertips a little more over to the left diagonal of your mat or of your space. Bring your right hand next to your nose and then just switch this so the right arm can thread underneath. Left fingertips can draw towards the front of the space. Or you can wrap the left arm around your body. Just finding a nice opening into the shoulder, a nice little stretch into the neck. And then slowly bring yourself out of this. We're going to come around to sit down so your feet can be out in front of you. Bring your hands back behind you, slightly wider than your shoulders. Point your fingers away from each other and start to find a circular motion through your upper back. Allow your elbows to bend. It's kind of this creepy spider motion with the elbows. It's a great way to open up, find a little bit of lubrication into your shoulders, into your chest. And then something a little different. Bring your hands so they come together behind your lower back. So your palms come together. Your elbows and your forearms will support your body. And then from here, the further you scooch your hips away from your fist, the more intense this stretch will be. So you can kind of determine how much opening you're feeling. You can bring your elbows a little wider from each other, a little bit close together, and just notice differences that creates in the stretch and the sensation. And just breathe here. It's a bit more of a passive stretch to open that space. Feel your belly rise and deflate. And then slowly release, come all the way down onto your back, make your way. Once you're on your back, open your arms wide out to the side. Let your palms face up, maybe allow your eyes to close. Take a few moments here. We're gonna move into one last little exercise, the same way we began. Bend your elbows so they're the same line as your shoulders. You can bend your knees for a little more lower body support. And just as we began, start to rotate your shoulders so the backs of your hands come down to the ground. And then rotate so the palms of your hands come down to the mat. And we'll take this about 8 times. And as you're doing this, I want you to notice, acknowledge any differences you may feel as far as range of motion, as far as stabilization goes in through your shoulder. Feel your shoulder blades pull together and down your back. Notice what's going on with your rib cage. Try to keep your ribs knitted together. And your abdominals are still turned on here. Stay long through your neck. And after your last one, give yourself a big hug once again. Right elbow under left elbow. Pull your shoulders down with your hands. Breathe in. And then switch. Left elbow underneath. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe a little bit of a roll from side to side. And then one last time, open your arms wide out to the side. Palms face up. Legs can be long and heavy in front of you. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. Notice tension you may feel, your jaw, your neck, your face. Try to release that. Allow your shoulders, your arms, your upper body, all that space where we just worked to melt into the mat. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.